Welcome, and thank you for joining us. Welcome, and thank you for joining us. I'm Jackie Ives, your host for the Make Him Fall Madly in Love Summit. And the truth is, you can't make anyone fall in love with you, because valuing and loving yourself is the key to attracting a fulfilling relationship. And today we have an expert speaker on this topic. She's going to teach you 4 keys to loving yourself and attracting your dream partner. So it's my pleasure to introduce to you Cecily MacArthur. Cecily, thank you so much for being here today.
It's great to be here, Jackie. I'm so thrilled. And it's Cecily, okay?
Oh, Cecily, thank you for correcting me. I was practicing that, and I'm practicing that, and I've never heard that way.
That's all right. There you go.
Okay, well, Cecily, I want to tell the audience a little bit more about you, and so just sit back and enjoy how this feels. And so you are a world-class dream life coach, a transformational specialist, and a spiritual health and weight loss mentor. You're a powerful intuitive, a certified life coach, and a life mastery consultant. You're also an experienced spiritual teacher and an author in the Human Potential Movement. You help people connect with spirit to awaken your authentic self and discover your true purpose and create the life of your dreams. I love that. That's so beautiful. You're also the author of the book, 7 Ways to Stay Positive in Challenging Times. And you regularly conduct seminars on dream building and spiritual development. You host a monthly interview called the Light Beam Hour. And you've co-hosted 4 successful telesummits on angels, the law of attraction, energy healing, and the chakra system. And you've been an expert guest on numerous telesummits in self-love, forgiveness, spiritual health, and weight loss. It's such a pleasure to have you here today. I'm just so grateful because I know that you have the experience, the tools, and the insights, the intuitive ability to share with the audience how to really attract that love that they're all longing for, that we all long for.
Oh, it's a wonderful opportunity to talk about this topic. I'm very passionate about it, and self-love here. I'm coming with my little bald head here, so I've been recovering. I'm my 2-time cancer survivor, and I'm waiting for my hair to grow back. But I was a little challenged to come on with a bald head on a video, but I took about an hour. I got over it, and this is just, hopefully you can see part of the self-love that I bring is the confidence and the ability to just show up this way, to be proud of who I am, and to know that I love myself and what I've achieved, particularly kicking butt with cancer for the 2nd time. So I'm excited to be here with your audience.
Yes, and I'm just honored that you just were able to overcome that self-consciousness, because you do truly embody what self-love is, because I see you in the spirit that you are, and it's not about the external, it's about what's coming through the inside. And so tell our audience, what are the 4 keys to loving yourself and attracting your dream partner? How did you get started on this topic?
Well, part of it is my own transformation process and going through what I've experienced. I really found that self-love was the key to really changing my life. When the first time I had cancer, I was a corporate consultant. I was making 6 figures. I was traveling around the country. I was considered extremely successful, but I was pretty miserable. I was overweight, and I really hated my life. And then I found out I had cancer. So the first time through, it was definitely a message from God to change my lifestyle, to really give an opportunity to really a second chance to change my life. So loving myself was a huge piece of that. I really didn't love myself. I was 100 pounds overweight. I was eating in restaurants all the time. I'm drinking expensive scotch, not taking care of myself. I didn't even own a full-length mirror because I didn't want to look at myself. So I wasn't taking care of me. I wasn't loving me. I didn't like my relationships. I was in a relationship that really wasn't working for me, but I was holding on to it too long. Didn't have a lifestyle that was was loving to who I was, and I had an opportunity to change that. So I changed my career, I changed my lifestyle, I changed my boyfriend, I changed where I lived. I now live in Sedona, Arizona, which was a big dream of mine. And so that's where I'm talking to you from today. And I love being here because this is a place where you can be who you are. It's a very spiritual community, and never even thought twice about walking around here with a bald head in Sedona, because there's all kinds of extreme hairdos here. So it's a great place to do a lot of spiritual work, and I've been doing that since I've been here. And then I had another opportunity with cancer to take love actually to a whole self-love to a whole new level, really looking at connecting at a higher spiritual level, really connecting with God love, and realizing that I was working with clients and I was doing it for them, but I hadn't really connected at that level for myself. And a lot of times we do that, particularly spiritual people and light workers and people who are working healers. I imagine your audience has a lot of these people there, but they are great at taking care of everybody else, but not so good at taking care of themselves. So I learned that lesson. It was like, okay, why another 2x4, but hopefully people don't have to go through that, and that's what I want to talk to today. But really the 4 keys that I'm talking about is really learning to, first of all, love your body. There's a huge, huge piece, particularly in healing, and then the weight loss, and then also learning to love your mind, this crazy mind that chatters to us all the time and that we tear ourselves down and say horrible things to ourselves. And then also learning to love our emotions. So many years, because of a very abusive childhood, I was really numb. I wasn't feeling anything. And that really was an important part of self-love, was to really getting in touch with my emotions and understanding that they're important. And then not to stuff them with food and self-medication. So, and then the last piece is really loving your spirit, really being able to embrace the spiritual side of us. Is everyone. We are all spiritual beings having a human experience, and we need to really understand that, and that we're all intuitive, we're all psychic, this is who we are. We just haven't appreciated it, and our culture doesn't allow us to really connect the way we have been born to do. So these are all lessons I've learned, and through my journey, and will hopefully help you and your audience to really appreciate what they can do for themselves, because it's all things we can change. It's all things we can grow and learn from.
Absolutely. And so I love what you said. You said the second time around, cancer gave you an opportunity. And so do you feel that your body was trying to communicate with you in terms of just loving yourself more? And can you talk about how you turned this crisis into an opportunity to grow?
Absolutely, and I really believe everything that happens to us happens for a reason, and some of the things that happen to us are not so great. And certainly I wouldn't wish cancer on anyone, but it's a message. Any kind of illness or anything that we get upset about that happens is really, it's feedback for us. It's like, hey, pay attention. Something's not working, you're not in alignment, there's an opportunity here for you to learn and grow. And we tend to just go into the victim mode. It's like, why me, and what is it that I've done that have made this happen? But it's really, if you look at it on a spiritual level, it's really a messenger for you. It's an opportunity to find the wounds, find the things that need to be healed, and to make the changes that you really need in order to grow and be who you were born to be. And that's so everything that happens is an opportunity, as you said, to grow and be more of who we truly are.
Great. And so how did you begin to practice as one of your keys to loving your body, starting with that in spite of the cancer and the challenge you're facing?
Well, loving your body is a great place to start. I think it's something that we all need to do more of. And I just like to also to have people think about a scale of 1 to 10. So if one is sort of the low end of the scale, it's really would be self-loathing and not really liking ourselves. It would be kind of a very negative, constricted end. And then the high end would be the 10. It would be the self-loving. It would be the joy. It would be the peace. It would be fully embracing who you are. I would like you to just take a minute and think about where you would put yourself. Your audience, just think about right now in the moment, not where you'd like to be, or what you'd want to be if you were in a relationship, but what right now, how would you rate where you are on self-love? And come up with a score. Listen to your heart on what comes up, and notice that score. So, most people unfortunately don't come in too high on this scale. And then if I asked you to go back to the scale and now think, how much do you love your body on the scale? And generally speaking, that score is going to be lower than the first one. You may have done some spiritual work and felt good. I know I had when I first did this test for myself. I was pretty proud of all the spiritual things I had done, but I still hadn't really addressed loving my body. And when I did this for myself for the first time, it came out at a 4. And I'm like, oh dear, okay, this is probably a place to start, because now I really need to focus in on the physical body and really learning to love it more. I mean, I was always a tall, chubby person, even from as a child, and so I was always bigger than the other kids, and so I was always self-conscious. I never really liked who I was physically. I didn't match the people in the magazines, the images that we're given. Especially for women, this is really challenging that we get all of these image issues. So I went through life really ignoring my body and actually not even being in my body. A lot of people are kind of living, in their shoulder and head. They're not really physically in their body. They're spiritually connected to their body, but just kind of disconnect them. And we'll talk about the mind in a minute. But I was just very proud of my intellect, and that's what I did in the corporate world. I got by on just focusing on my smartness and my ability to operate in this world, which valued that. But the idea that I had a body and that I should be taking care of it. Occasionally I would, and I'd work out on the weekends, and I knew I needed to do more, but it was hard to really get in there because I was not raised to appreciate and to be kind to my body, to do anything loving. So it's really important, I think, for people to really start by embracing themselves, where they are, with how they look, and with how much they weigh, and with all their imperfections. There are not many people that look like the people in the magazines. So we need to embrace ourselves. We need to really allow ourselves to really be nicer to ourselves, to be more compassionate around our body, and to start doing more self-care. So I have a little formula for self-care that I think is really an important place to start for people, and I think it's really simple. It has an acronym. It's a SEED, SEED, S-E-E-D. So S stands for sleep, and right now think about how much you sleep and how much you don't sleep. If you're familiar with Arianna Huffington, she just wrote a new book on Thrive, and her story is she ended up she collapsed from exhaustion in her office after hours, and she woke up all alone in a pool of blood, and it changed her whole life. She realized she was sleeping 4 or 5 hours a night, and she basically just collapsed from total exhaustion. And I think a lot of us do this. We're like, go, 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 do, 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 and we don't think about the amount of sleep that we really need. And most people need at least 8 hours sleep, 7 to 8. And Arianna's changed her life around sleep, and she even had nap rooms installed in her company, so her employees could go in and take a nap if they're tired. So I think she's really embraced sleep. I think naps are great. You really want to think about, are you giving your body an opportunity to regenerate and to heal and to just to work through what it needs on a daily basis? And we don't value sleep enough, and we're told to just keep going, and we pile on too many things, so we cut sleep all the time in order to get everything done. So think about that. Do you need more sleep? And then the second E is for eating. This is important for our lifestyle and being able to think about what we put in our bodies. How loving are you about what your choices of food? I mentioned I was eating in restaurants all the time, eating rich food. Wasn't really thinking about the quality of the food and/or was it good for my body. So now I'm really thinking that, I mean, there's all kinds of diets, and it's very confusing. We could spend hours on this topic, but just in basics, you really got to go for plant-based. Your mom was right, eat your vegetables, and you got to get clean vegetables. You got to go with organic. You got to really think about, there's a lot of talk about GMOs and organic and pesticides, and our food supply is woefully depleted and poisonous in a lot of ways. So skip the processed foods, go with the whole foods. I was listening to one speaker said, if God made it, eat it. If man made it, don't eat it. I think that's a good rule. So try to think about, when you make a choice, sugar, another whole topic we could go into. Think about, what are you putting in your body? What's a loving choice for your body? And really try to change your diet and improve it so that, one step at a time, but get better food into you. It's going to feel better. If you think about that scale we talked about, the live food, the healthy foods on the high end, actually has higher vibration. If you want to raise your vibration, raise your score, you got to eat better. You can't be eating dead food. So think about that. I'm just going to keep running here, Jackie.
Yeah. I love you get into thinking. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. The second E is for exercise, and it goes, oh no, but we have to move. We're designed to move, and it's important that we move our bodies and do stuff. Now, you don't have to go to the gym if you don't like the gym. I used to force myself to go there, and I never liked it. It was, just sheer willpower to do that. Part of being here in Sedona, we have these wonderful trails, and it being outside. This is a very outdoor community. It is gorgeous. Every place you go is just looks like a postcard. So being outside here and hiking and doing that kind of exercise is my favorite. So finding something that you enjoy, that you're going to look forward to, that moves your body, and really think about that. It doesn't have something that you dislike or that you don't look forward to. But find something that makes you feel good and that you will do on a regular basis, because you really need it. We're just designed that way. We have to move. And then the D is for drink. It's really drinking water. Here in Arizona, hydration is really important because it is so dry and hot, particularly in June. But the idea here is that 80–90% of the people are dehydrated. We don't drink enough water. And so just think about what you're drinking. Most people go for the sodas and the coffee, and these are actually diuretics. They're actually removing the water from your body. And if we're 80% water, we really need to put a lot of water in. There you go.
My mouth was salivating for talking about water.
I got a glass of water with me here too. All day long I talk about the 8 glasses of 8 ounces of water. I mean, that's a standard. There's lots of different ways to calculate it based on body weight, but just really thinking about drinking and clean water. Who once again got to think about, tap water here is at least in the United States, is probably not a good idea. think about how clean your water is and really make a conscious effort to drink. So those are the four things for self-care that are really important, I think, to get started on. And just think about it when you do it. Is this loving for my body? Is this helping my body? Is this something my body needs? And you start to listen to your body and appreciate, more kind to your body. You're going to be more connected to what feels good for your body. And so being more just in your body and paying more attention to it and appreciate it more. It's an amazing vehicle that we have here, and it's the only ride we got, in this world. So we need to take care of it.
It's easy to remember that: sleep, diet, exercise, and drinking water. The four critical things that we need to do. Perfect. I love that. It's easy to remember, and you're right about all four of those. Absolutely essential.
And just, pamper yourself a little bit too. So do some things that, are nice to your body. And, we're in a town full of all kinds of body work and specialty healers that you can get all kinds of wonderful things, and, massage and steam, and whatever makes your body feel good. They just putting cream on your body, appreciating it, telling your body that you appreciate it, being more grateful for your body, because it's an amazing, amazing vehicle that we have, and every day it does amazing things for us. So learn to appreciate it and really spend some time recognizing how important it is. When you don't have your health, you change your whole perspective on the fact that you really can't take it for granted. Bodies are important.
Absolutely. It's where our spirit dwells and where our mind is. So we definitely need to keep it healthy and whole. And you had mentioned about how to keep our mind, how to practice loving our minds. I'd love for you to talk about that a little bit.
Well, that's the second piece. We all have this mind chatter stuff, this little voice in our mind that is hard to get rid of. It's not always there. It's constantly tearing us down. It's talking about, you're not good enough. Who do you think you are? What do you think you're going to be doing? You can't. And every time we try to go for, think of relationships, who would love me? Why would that person want to love me? I mean, we have all of this stuff in our heads going on, and it's going to be there. It's actually part of an evolutionary issue. It's a survival issue. It was designed to keep us safe. It's designed to keep the status quo. It was designed to keep us from changing or doing something dangerous. And they say we've got like 60,000 thoughts a day. I don't know how they got that number, but 80% of them are negative, and then 80% of them are the same ones we had yesterday, and it's nuts. I mean, we keep having this broken record, and it just keeps going. And we say things to ourselves that if we had a friend who talked to us that way, we would dump them in a minute. But it seems to be okay for us to tear ourselves down and to say horrible, horrible things to ourselves on a regular basis. And you really pay attention to that self-talk and that inner critic, and you realize how harsh and how mean and how awful the things are that we say to each other, to ourselves. And how do we, really going to appreciate and love ourselves and or feel good about bringing ourselves into a relationship if we are allowing this kind of talk all the time and basically buying into it, because that's a lot of it is also from our childhood. People told us at some point we weren't good enough. A lot of from our parents or our schools or our religion or our cultures, all kinds of beliefs that we have taken on that are not so positive about our abilities and who we are and how we measure up or don't measure up. If we've been compared to other people, or we didn't get enough gold stars on our papers in school. I mean, all of our society is set up in this competitive issue that you're just not good enough. And so it gets reinforced on a regular basis, and then we listen to this voice, and then we don't think that we're good enough or that we deserve the relationship that we really want in our life. So learning to shut down that voice, I mean, it's never going to go away. It's part of who we are. So you have to accept it and realize that it's there, and you really want to learn to be able to be aware when it happens and know that it's not true. It has nothing to do with who you are. It's just the way the mind works, and it's going to do that. It's trying to keep you safe. So embracing it, seeing that it's happening, and then realizing that you don't have to listen to it. And you can shut it down. You can say stop, or Jack Canfield likes to talk cancel. I like think of picturing a blackboard, and I'm an older generation here, so you can erase off of the board, or the delete button or the mute button, whatever works for you. Find a way to momentarily stop that. If you're aware of this chatter, you can shut it down and say, no, I'm not going there. I'm not listening to it. You say, beautiful brain, I appreciate what you're doing, that you're trying to keep me safe, and that you are there to warn me, but I'm not buying that today. I don't need your negativity today. I'm not going there. And then you can try to replace it with some positive things. I can do this. I do deserve this. I am good enough. I am worthy. I am precious, and I can have whatever I want, and it is okay. And then I'm safe. A lot of it is really about not feeling safe in the world, and that's where the mind kind of goes crazy. So a part of it is really just accepting that it's going to be there, but notice when it happens, and don't go there. Don't allow yourself to get pulled into this direction, because it's not true. It's all lies and illusions, and you don't have to dwell on it. You don't have to bring it into who you are.
Wonderful. I call it my 800-pound gorilla.
And we all have that. That's absolutely. I like that. A great visual.
Yeah, because big gorilla. 80% of my thoughts are negative. That's an 800-pound gorilla, and that's what the challenge is to just make peace with your gorilla.
Yeah, well, give the gorilla a big hug and say, that's fine, but I'm not going there today. And I appreciate what you're trying to do, but it's not something I'm going to listen to. It's not appropriate. It's not what I want. It's not going to stop me from going towards my dreams.
Absolutely, yeah. And so I'm sure with all these negative thoughts, a certain amount of emotion comes out of it. And how do we love and make peace with our emotions, and talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, well, from our thoughts, we have all of the emotions, the beliefs, and the emotions. It's a cycle. The thoughts start this process, and then we get all of these emotions. And emotions are another area, particularly in Western culture, we're not encouraged to embrace our emotions. We're afraid of them. We really push them away. We stuff them. We're real good at food. No, that was my big issue. It's like, I don't want to feel. I was very numb for a long time, so I would just eat, to stuff the emotions, because it was too dangerous to feel them. And a lot of people self-medicate, and it's where drugs and alcohol come in, or prescription drugs. We have all these people on antidepressants. I mean, all of this is we are unable or unwilling to deal with the emotions. And the emotions are not good or bad. I mean, the part of it is, we tend to think about emotions, again, the low end of the scale, all of the fear and the anger and the hatred and all of the ugly we consider bad emotions, and we're afraid of them. We don't really want to deal with them. And so we push them away, or we don't want to face them, or we stuff them, as I said. And they get stuck in the body, so that's another whole health issue, because if we don't deal with them, then they're still there. But really, emotions are feedback, and that's all it is. It's really telling us that there's something going on. So if somebody cuts you off in traffic and you get all pissed off and angry, then that really is showing you that there's some anger that you need to work on. And I have a client who is doing, I do a lot of forgiveness work with people, and she did a lot of work with her father. And one of the things she noticed is that things didn't piss her off quite as much. She wasn't so quick to go to anger when you release a lot of the emotion. And so many of my clients, when we actually, we embrace it, we welcome the feelings, particularly what we consider negative, and we let them come in and we experience them. And guess what? They just go away. You know, you don't have to carry them. You don't have to bring them here. And as most of my clients are like, you're kidding, that was it? I've been carrying that for all these years, and that was all it was? And it's like, yeah, it just kind of disappears. And it's like, you know, it's amazing. It was a messenger, and we didn't get the message. And it's really showing us where we need to heal, some of the areas we want to go. And it's there's some work here. And that's part of what a lot of people don't want to do the work. And everything is, you know, for self-love does require you go inside and you look at yourself. You look at some of these wounds. You don't have to drag up all of the things that happened to you, but you do need to recognize the emotion. You've got to experience it and let it go. It's all about letting it go. And it's also about, you know, the high end of the scale is all the love and the joy. If you're not feeling your feelings, you're missing out. You're not getting the good stuff either. So, you know, you want to really be, you know, being able to get to that high end and really experience love and really know what that feels like. And unless you are embracing your emotions, you're not going to be able to truly love someone or yourself. And this is an important aspect of really getting in touch with your feelings and realizing they're not good or bad. They're not dangerous. Right. They're just messengers, and they're there for a reason, and they're really good teachers. So, you know, that person who cuts you off in traffic, you say, thank you for showing me that I've got a wound I need to heal, and that I've got to get rid of some of this anger, because it's definitely not helping me. It's in my way, and it's hurting me in my relationships, and it's something that I want to release. And that's an opportunity every day to deal with our emotions and to welcome them as important messengers for how we need to be more of who we are.
Absolutely. And so, loving our spirit, let's weave into that now. Just embracing our spirit and just connecting with our spirit and our higher self and our source. We talked about that a little bit.
Absolutely. And this is really an amazing thing, because I think so many people think, oh, you know, I'm not spiritual, or, you know, I'm not psychic, that there are special people that do this, and that not so. We are all, and you look at children are really connected, and especially the children who are being born now. If you have small children in your life, and you see that the children, I've got some grandniece and nephew that are they're tapped in. They are connected to spirit at a level that is just blows you away. Children are just know that to be themselves, and they're happy. And so many of my clients, we go back and we think, you know, their inner child was full of joy and enjoying life and connected to spirit, maybe connected to angels and fairies. And I know I spent a lot of my childhood in the woods with the fairies, and then it got beat out of me. By the time we get to first grade, most of us it's not appreciated, and it's not something that's encouraged. In fact, a lot of parents have been embarrassed by children who talk to trees or imaginary friends, supposedly, or just even, you know, seeing dead people. A lot of children are able to do this, but it frightens the adults, and so they shut it down, because it's something that we're not encouraged to be our spiritual beings. We're actually encouraged. We value the physical body, and we value the mind, but we don't value the spiritual side. So it's in Western culture particularly. Some other cultures in the world may cultivate it more, but it's, generally speaking, it's part of all of us. We're all psychics, we're all intuitive, we all have these gifts. We just haven't used those muscles. We haven't gone there. We haven't practiced that. So doing spiritual development, getting in touch, this is who we are. We are not our body. We are not our mind. We are not our emotions. we are spiritual beings, and we want to find that part of us. We want to get to know that part of us. We want to let it out instead of hiding it. Most of us, I know from my own experience, and I've had all these previous lives where I was persecuted for my spirituality. Hung and burned at the stake, and all kinds of, amazing memories that I've been able to experience. It's like, oh, okay, now I know why it's so hard to let that out here, because it's not safe. It's been considered, hide it. It's not appreciated. It actually could be dangerous. It could actually get me killed. So a lot of people are carrying this in this lifetime, and it's keeping us away from really embracing and loving and learning to get to know, just to be the light that we are, and being able to do that, being able to bring that out and to say, this is truly the person that I am. This is the essence of who I am. This is my magnificence, is the spirit. This is where I am beautiful and full of love, and being able to bring that into the world. And instead of trying to hide it, or to be embarrassed by it, or to feel like you're different and you don't fit in. So it's really a challenge for us. It's something we have to practice, and it's something that we really need to spend more time with. Hopefully on a daily basis, to get connected at a spiritual level, and then to really connect at into God love, and to be at a higher self, and to tap into the knowledge and the information that we can get from that. As we're all connected, and there's a huge amount of information and source, and they're all the geniuses in our history, and even the leaders in industry will all say, intuitive abilities and being able to tap into higher power is where inspiration comes from. It's where inventions get, created here. It's where we get up to really be creative. That is where our creativity comes from. Artists are all connected at a higher level. So this is, being able to allow this to come through us and into the world with our own love and our connection to the divine. It's paramount, actually, but it's for all of us, because they think it's, oh no, that's someone else, not me. But it really is all of us, and it's where the world is going. We're getting better and better at being able to live from this place, and it's easier and easier for us to do that, and it is safe to do that. Also, potentially, and most of the world, it is safe to do this. So we need to be able to embrace it in that way, and to know that this is who we truly are.
So you provided us with incredible tools to begin to practice loving ourselves more, loving our mind, our body, our emotions, and just becoming more connected to our spirit. You're just completely right on target for what the audience really needs to embrace to begin to love themselves more. And you're offering a beautiful free gift, and I'm really grateful for that. I want to share with the audience a little bit about the gift and where they can get it. And they can actually get it in the email, in the body of the email that came into your inbox where you access this summit. You can go back to that and click on the link. And please tell us about the 7 ways to revitalize your joy gift that you're offering.
Well, this is great, because it is it fits really well with self-love. It was a teleclass that I did. It's 60 minutes. It's really practical techniques. You can use them every day. They're very simple things to do, but they're things to really get rid of all the stress and anxiety and fear, which we have a lot of, and that gets reinforced every day in our society. So things you can do to help to move away from that and really move again to the high end of the scale, to the peace and the love and the joy. What can you do to raise your vibration and really get to more joy? And practice that so that you can really have more magic in your life. It's an important way to practice, so it'll give people some additional tools. And I'm also writing another ebook on these 4 keys. So if you want to sign up, you sign up for the free gift. You get on my list. You'll as soon as my book is finished, I will. It will be available for free also, so people can download it. Lots more information that I've been. It's just coming in from above, and it just gets bigger and bigger. That's why it's not done. It's like I thought it was going to be a little book, and now it's getting to be a bigger book. So there's a lot more information that Spirit wants me to share with you. So that will be available too. And when you sign up, also there's an opportunity if anyone would like a free consultation, a complimentary 30-minute session with me. I'd love to do this with people. It's not a sales pitch. It is a session with a coaching session with me. I just did one a couple of days ago where a woman said, I don't know what we can do in 30 minutes, and 17 minutes into it, we discovered a major issue for her, and she was like laughing. She said, I can't believe you did that in 17 minutes. So I love to do this. It is something that I would be very happy to offer to your audience, Jackie. It's on the website. When people go there, you can just put it in, or you can email me at Cecily@CoachCecily.com and let me know that you would like to set up a session. And I love doing this. To me, it's my of giving back, and I really enjoy what we can do in 30 minutes and really help people, particularly with this topic of self-love and relationships. If this is something that you really like to talk a little bit more, please let me know, and I would love to set that up with you.
Oh, Cecily, you are amazing. Just your life and how you have taken these challenges and turned them into such an incredible life work, and you're doing amazing planetary work and just offering these free gifts, 3 free gifts. So you're very generous, and I know that you're being blessed and you're blessing us, and thank you for sharing all of your wisdom and intuition with us. We really need that right now, and I'm just really blessed to have this conversation with you, and appreciate your participation in the summit. Thank you so much.
Well, it's been a pleasure and an honor to be part of what you're doing, Jackie, and thank you for putting this together and inviting me an opportunity to speak about something that I'm so passionate about, and to have this chance to get that message out is, to me, it is the key. And a lot of people have been talking about this for a long time, but I think now's the time people are really getting that self-love. If you love yourself and you come from this higher love, then you're going to attract the right person into your life. Or even, if it's not the forever person, it's someone who's going to teach you more about who you are. That's what relationships are important to do. And you, instead of from a place of lack and from a place of I need someone else to love me, you come from a place of overflowing love for yourself. You're going to attract a person who you deserve. And that's really what I want for everyone, to have that dream partner in their life.
And